me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It is your boy Dtlf back with another video. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Just a couple of days, gone since hold on, I think I didn't plug in my mic. Give me one sec. All right, there you go. Just a couple of days have gone past since the postseason has ended, and basically it is the dawn of a new off season. Trade conversations, rumors, all of it. This is your number one place for that. And of course, the Lakers are already involved in numerous rumors we got to break down together here on this channel. How y'all doing today, though? Hopefully everybody's having a great morning. What's up, Christian? All right. So let's start with the most valid rumor. And this is more of a news update than a rumor because it's actually happening. According to Draft Express, the Lakers are exploring trades with teams who own multiple first-round picks. The Magic, the Jazz, the Nets, the Blazers, the Pacers, the Rockets, and the Hornets. All right. So that's interesting because the Lakers have been known to move back in the drafts and draft multiple money players, most notably Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart in the past. Guys like that. So this is very intriguing. That must mean that they like a couple of players in this year's draft, as they should. It is a pretty solid draft. And most notably, the Pacers are also engaged in talks around their late first-round picks, 26 and 29, so potentially with the Lakers. Also, the Nets are exploring trade-up possibilities, and they have the 21st and the 22nd pick. So that's a money shot right there. If we can get the 21st and 22nd picks, man, that will be great. What do you guys think of this first news update by the Lakers exploring to potentially move back in the trade? Or maybe they're trying to acquire more first-round picks to swing a blockbuster deal for somebody. Who knows? Anything could be in the works. But the rumor mill is gone rampant this morning. I mean, it's nuts. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. What do you guys think of that? You guys think they're trying to move back or actually trying to acquire more draft picks to try to go and get a star? And we're going to talk about that star in a little bit. But I want to know what you guys have to say. Good morning. D'Lo, Beasley, Mo Bamba, Max Christian, 2 first-round picks for Beal. Oh, man, you jumping the gun, Terrell. Look, I'm going to get into that Bradley Beal. But first of all, let's see. Angie says, I'll trade the 17th and 47 picks for 21 and 22. Oh, me too, Angie. That's a solid trade all the way. And you could definitely have players that can fall at 21 and 22. You think they're trying to get a star, Craig? Hey, this is the city of stars. It could happen. Lakers All Day says, think we getting draft picks for Kyrie or Beal? Okay. Can't hold back these Bradley Beal rumors anymore, all right? Listen, Bradley Beal, it is reported that him and the Washington Wizards are working together to find a trade for him. Now, the intriguing part here for me is that Laker Nation is split on this, right? Some people would like an elite shooter, shot creator like Bradley Beal. But there's pros and cons. The pros, elite playmaker, shooter, floor spacer, exactly what the doctors ordered to play alongside LeBron James and AD. The con, and he's an all-star. The con is that he has been very injury prone, just like AD. He's 30 years of age, and his contract currently is at $46 million a year, and is only going to increase leading all the way to 2026, where he'll be paid $57 million a year. So that's over $250 million contract that he's still on. And I'm not sure I love that contract at all, if I'm being honest with you. I might want to go the depth route with the Lakers if we're going to go with a question mark type star like Bradley Beal. Let me spell it out for you. Here's this very scary scenario. What happens if the Lakers acquire Bradley Beal, and we might acquire him for less than what they're asking for because obviously, he has a no trade clause. So that means he's going to be able to determine pretty much where he goes and which direction he goes. So that is the only upside about potentially trading him. But according to Jovan Bua, the Lakers inquired about him. They were interested in him in December 16th. So there is a chance he could be a Laker, especially because, remember, the Lakers have a great relationship with the Washington Wizards. Great. I'm talking, we've made several trades with them, and, they've kept a good relationship there. So that'll be interesting. All right, let's hear what you guys have to say about the situation. Nah, he's injury prone, says Alex. Terrell Carter said Bradley Beal is a perfect two guard for us. All we need is a solid point guard. Um, hypothetically, yes, skill wise, he's elite, right? Matter of fact, I might go as far as to say I like him better because he plays more defense than Devin Booker. All right, skill wise. Problem with me, and the reason I disagree, Terrell, is because this dude has always been hurt, man, every season, just like AD. And so, do you really want to trade for that contract? Worst case scenario, you trade for him, you have him, you gave up all these assets, and boom, he's hurt. Now you're not talking championship. Now you're talking about another bad contract to try to get up under, get up out of, and hoping till it finishes till 2026. Don't want that. Hey, what up, T? Good to see you. Now I'd rather go get Murray from Atlanta, cheaper and plays better defense. That's a solid option. That is a solid option for sure. Dan, yo prefiero a Kuz de vuelta y Kristaps Porzingis. My guy just said he prefers Kuz and Kristaps Porzingis. I'm kind of right there with you, bro. Less of an asking price and probably more production based on how long he's gonna be. Empire, my guy, what's up, brother? Hey, he said around the league is gonna be fire tomorrow. Oh man, if you got something to say, you're welcome to come on right now, brother. I could shoot you the link and bring you on. Just let me know. I'd love to have you on right now if you do want to voice your opinion. If not, it can wait till around the league tomorrow. No worries. But let me know. All right. The next rumor I want to talk about is that the Lakers might still be interested in Chris Paul, right? If the Suns waive him. That's a big if. We don't know what the Suns are going to do. They might be working on a trade. If they can't trade him, they might waive him. If that happens, the Lakers are going to be at the front of the line. Apparently, Chris Paul's family never relocated from Los Angeles to Phoenix. So they like it here. They like it here a lot. And on top of that, Eric Pincus was reporting that Dennis Schroeder and D'Angelo Russell may be brought back if Chris Paul, if Chris Paul is added due to his age and his injury history. That way we have some insurance policies, right? So, yeah, it's all interesting. The rumor mill is blazing right now. Seriously, the rumor mill is going nuts. And every time I refresh my timeline, we hear something new, right? But yeah, what do you guys think of these rumors? And then also the Washington Wizards and Bradley Beal working together to find a trade. That to me spells out that maybe Washington isn't going to get max value in return because there's a no trade clause in Bradley Beal's contract. So he has to approve any trade. He's pretty much going to be able to dictate where he goes, which means medium to minimal return for him. I think maybe Washington would just be happy to get up out of it under his contract and start the rebuild process properly. Right now, I'm hearing Kristaps and Kuz could both be on the trade market, so they might be trying to start it all out and start from scratch. And this new CBA is going to force some teams to consider that, especially if they're not contending and they're paying all this salary out. You know what I mean? So that's the interesting part about this whole situation here. But the Lakers trying to potentially move down from the draft and get a couple of draft picks, I find very intriguing. Who could they be targeting with those multiple draft picks? Could it be a star player via trade, or could it be multiple young pieces in the draft? I mean, anything goes at this point, right? But yeah, here's another rumor. The Indiana Pacers are a team that keeps an eye out for Kyle Kuzma. So like I said, potentially the Wizards will not be bringing back their full team, right? If you're moving out from under Bradley Beal's contract, it makes more sense that you hit the reset button, right? It makes a lot more sense. My guy Jeff said, can't pull it off right now, my guy. It's crazy loud where I'm at, but I'll be ready for it tomorrow for sure. Got you, bro. I got you tomorrow. No worries. All right. Yeah, to me, that was the most intriguing rumor, even more so than Bradley Beal, because I could see the Lakers getting involved there for Bradley Beal for sure, right? Obviously, it's the city of stars or whatever. We've been linked to that name for a long time, and like Jovan Bull reported, shout out to him, always on top of Laker news. December 16th, the Lakers reached out to Washington. They were intrigued by him. So things could have changed from here to there. We have more depth now. We have less draft picks. Things could have definitely changed, but there is a chance the Lakers do get involved. Do you guys like it, love it, or hate it if the Lakers were to offer something for Bradley Beal? I'd love to hear your guys' takes. Give me Porzingis. Damn, people are intrigued by Porzingis, huh? That's crazy. Dan, Eric said they are matching Rui and Reeves, and D'Lo having a bad playoffs could make come back for cheaper than expected. Look, if D'Lo comes back for about 15 to 18 mil, I'm cool on that. Anything over 20, I'm not, because I don't feel like right now he's worth that right now. Maybe they can structure his contract so that he can opt out if he outplays his contract and they can renegotiate something or whatever, right? But yeah, I don't think D'Lo's as bad as people are making him out to be. Defensively, he is, but everything else, he's a solid floor general, solid shooter. He can get hot, take over games. I like D'Lo, especially for the regular season. Remember, it's a marathon. It's not. We don't just have to think of the postseason. We need guys to help carry during the regular season. And people forget he was a part of the culture change when he arrived here in Los Angeles, turned us back into a winning franchise. So that's what we got to do. We got to keep it pushing. We got to keep it moving. And maybe he'll be a part of our future. Maybe he won't. But he's still a solid young player. Lakers need to go get Kuz and Daniel Gafford. I like Daniel Gafford. USC guy. Definitely like Daniel Gafford. Super athlete. I think he's been, misutilized in Washington, just like Rui Hachimura was. So I would like him a lot. I'm excited for the draft coming up. Me too, man. What is it? 8 days left, I believe. And yeah, it's going to be crazy. But again, the rumor with the most validity for today is that the Lakers, the Lakers are exploring trade scenarios as well, especially with teams having multiple picks, right? So another rumor that came up today is Nick Smith. Apparently, the Lakers are a bit intrigued by him, right? A combo guard who can score from multiple three-level scorer type potential. Play make a little bit and is explosive. Could be like a CJ McCollum type in the NBA. Just the archetype, not the player, right? Obviously, different players, different identities. But just to make a quick comparison, and if he slips past 14, there's a chance the Lakers can pick him up at 17. So you do have that probability. I mean, there's so much going on in the draft. This is my time of the year to shine, baby, because I love the draft and I love free agency and all that stuff. So definitely keep it locked right here. Dan, you covering the whole draft? I'm covering the first round, and then I'm coming back live around the time that the Lakers make the 47th pick. So I'll take a break in between, and then I'll come back around when the Lakers are about to make the pick. Or if the Lakers do something midway through the draft, I will definitely be coming live as soon as anything breaks Laker related. You guys know the deal, man. You've been here with me for a couple years. You got the post notary bell ready. You're always looking at your timeline on Twitter if you follow me, because we posting stuff as soon as it happens. So keep it locked, man. Keep it locked. I think it's gonna be a very active summer, especially because of the new CBA. So there's gonna be moves left and right. Some teams trying to get out of contracts, some teams trying to get under contracts, some teams trying to take advantage of the CBA and pull off the deals to bring certain players to their roster. Dan, Eric also said Malik isn't coming back, and Bamba could come back due to the extra salary to trade and thin center market. Yeah, that is intriguing. And we did see Mo Bamba at the practice facility. I talked about it yesterday during my podcast. We saw him at the practice facility getting some shots in. So I doubt he would be doing that at our spot, although it is a beautiful facility. So who knows? But I doubt he would be doing it if he didn't know he was coming back. So he's feeling really comfortable, right? That must have told him something for sure. But I love the fact that Rob Pelinka is already getting the juices flowing. He's already working behind the scenes. This is what we need from our shark, from the Rob father, man. He's earned my respect after the last full respect. He already had my respect after what he did in 2020 offseason when he put together that quick team after Kawhi Leonard pulled the okey doke. But now it like solidified it after the trade deadline. I trust him. Whatever he decides to do, I'm on board. I'm ready to see the outcome. Now, it doesn't mean that if he does something crazy, I'm not going to critique it. But as of right now, I trust this man, and I think everybody should trust him as well. I mean, he's been pretty on point. Every time we've questioned him, he has come through. So, like Superman. So, I mean, but there's a lot of suitors for Bradley Beal. If we do want to talk about Bradley Beal, there's a lot of suitors. You got Miami Heat are expected to be prominent suitors, according to Shams. So I'm not too concerned about that contract. Hopefully the Lakers don't land that contract. I'm not a huge fan of it, right? Again, for those of you that don't know, this dude has a $250 million contract he signed last offseason, right? And he's already 30. So he's due $46 million this year, $50 million next year, $53 million the year after that, and his final year, $57 million. Imagine if that goes to an injury-prone player. Oh, the jokes, the memes, it would be horrible. Horrible. And I think it would also be a horrible experience for him if he doesn't live up to that contract. So you don't want to put that kind of pressure on a player like that, right? Uh, hey, what's up, Greg? Dan, we might all the way to the conference finals with a team we played together for a few months and Braun injured, playing on one leg. Shouldn't we run it back? I think, there's a certain half of Lakers Nation would probably say run it back, but I say that stat, you have to remember this, man. Every offseason, every team is looking to get better. So if you stand pat, you might lose an opportunity to get better. If you can get better, I say get better. If you can't, then run it back. But if there's options out there, there's guys that can make your team better for the now and foreseeable future, that's might be the route you go. I've talked about Trae Young. The dude is only 24 years of age. That might not be realistic, and the asking price for a player like that might be too high, but you never know. You never know. He doesn't play defense. He's undersized. You got to look at the cons. Anytime you're negotiating with a team, you got to throw all that in their face. Be like, look, listen, we can take him off your hands, and we can give you this, this, and that, and hopefully the asking price won't be out of reach, right? Players like that. Now, if we're not going to go the star route, we're not going to go the Kyrie, Trae Young route, then I'm cool with just drafting some solid, in this year's NBA draft. A couple players we like. We talked about it already. Videos are out, so definitely check them out on the channel. And then free agency is going to be crucial. Role players, guys like Brook, Naz Reid, guys like even Stanley Johnson to come off the bench. Guys like that, to me, become, imperative to our success moving forward. Because if we bring back this exact roster, I say it can't happen, right? I don't want Malik Beasley back. I don't think he's that great, especially for the contract. If you can bring an upgrade there, that'd be great. Maybe throw a contract at Gabe Vincent. I think he's unrestricted. I don't know, but definitely got to explore the market and try to get the best available players that fit into what we're trying to do moving forward, right? Do y'all think the Miami Heat get Beal? Do you think they're keeping Kyle as their point guard? Kyle Lowry was solid for them. I'm not a big fan of his game at all, but he's steady for them, and at times he gets hot and knocks down big shots. So, I expect them to keep him, but who knows? I don't know their contract situation and what they're working with over there, or what their front office is targeting, whether that's trimming down the fat a little bit, or if they're actually gonna, go all in and try to win the championship. They was just at the finals, so who knows? They got a lot to think about. He said, I would try to get Trey Lyles on veteran minimum. That would be a solid addition for sure. For sure. Like any big bodies, power forwards, small forwards, centers, I think should become priority. Guards, not so much. All right, we already got some we could bring back. There's always some you can draft. And, of course, if we already addressed the needs and there's a solid guard available, sure, why not? But other than that, I don't know. DeJounte Murray to Lakers. Now, that's a name I've been hearing a lot of recently. DeJounte Murray is a very good young player. Right? Always been a fan of his since he was on the Spurs. I actually thought him and Trey would do some damage and for Atlanta, but their coach situation was pretty bad. It didn't work out. The chemistry was off, and a bunch of locker room distractions and stuff like that. So that's unfortunate for them. However, it's interesting. It's interesting. And now we're hearing rumors that the Wizards would like to move into the top 3 of the draft. So maybe the Wizards are considering trading that Bradley Beal for maybe one of the top picks in the draft. I don't know. Yeah, it's going crazy, y'all. My timeline is just blowing up. My messages, I've gotten so many, I haven't even read them all. So my apologies for you watching this. I didn't get to your message yet. I like Seth way better than Beasley. Really, Greg? Wow. Talent-wise, no. For a role player, yeah, Seth is very solid. Very good shooter. Solid, decent defender. And he will play his role to a T. But if we're talking just talent, there's no comparison. Bradley Beal is night and day. Matter of fact, I like Bradley Beal's skill set better than Devin Booker's. All right, and it's not just because I dislike the personality of Devin Booker. It's because Bradley Beal actually plays defense when he's healthy. Again, I hate his injury history and his contract. Those two things make it a no for me, right? And not a resounding no, because the Lakers do pull off the trade and we ended up giving minimal for it. Then all you got to worry about is that contract slot. So it wouldn't be as bad, but still, man, still. Rico, appreciate you, Rico. Dan, no Beal. He said, we can't have all of our players declining at the same time, plus huge contract. It's just food for thought. It's not nothing that, there's no rumor saying the Lakers are engaged with Washington Wizards for Bradley Beal. Then really be concerned. If that rumor comes out, then be concerned. Right now, We just getting word that the Wizards are finally ready to move on from Bradley Beal, and so is Bradley Beal ready to move on from Washington. So somebody came to the senses. Yet another player that comes to their senses before Damian Lillard does with Portland. He said Seth is undersized. Beasley costs too much. Seth is cheap. Yeah, if you look at it from that standpoint, I agree. But if we're comparing player talents, no way. But yeah, no, if you're looking at it for more like the Lakers should maybe bolster their roster by adding good role players, Seth definitely fits the shoe, right? It's perfect. Lakers need to find a way to get Scoot Henderson. Bro, I'm like intrigued by that prospect. Scoot Henderson to me might end up being one of the best players, if not the best player in this draft. Very similar explosion to John Morant. He got the handles of like a prime Chris Paul or maybe not as good as a Kyrie, but they're up there, man. And yeah, a lot of rumors of teams actually trying to move up. Maybe he's been impressing in workouts. Not sure, right? Haven't been keeping up with him since we don't have that pick. But yeah, man, look, there would only be one way to get Scoot Henderson, and that would be by trading Anthony Davis in a package. Don't think the Lakers are ready to do that. So I wouldn't even waste my time thinking about Scoot, right? But that would be insane for sure. Hey, appreciate you, Philip. Thanks for super chat, bro. He said, if the Wizards blow it up, would you like Porzingis? I mean, look, man, Porzingis is a skilled big who's also always hurt. So I don't know what the asking price would be for him, but he put up some great numbers. I think he was averaging like 20 points per game this year. And I always knew he was a talented guy. I was always a fan of him since he was in New York for the Knicks. But unfortunately, he just hasn't, fully clicked for him due to the fact that he's always in and out of the lineup. And again, guys that size are dangerous because, he's a unicorn, but at the same time, he's a unicorn, but at the same time, he's not a spider. He's a unicorn, but at the same time, he's not really living up to the potential. You know what I mean? So I'd like him if he comes on the cheap. Not sure what his contract is looking like. But if he was cheap, I'd say yes. If he's going to be expensive, I'd say nah, man. What free agents are you liking for the Lakers? Okay. Got to start with Naz Reid. I know people are not fully all the way on board with him because he's a bit undersized, right? He's, 6'9", 6'10". But his skill set, he's got active hands on the defensive end. He's going to contest shots. He can knock down the three. He can attack. He has solid footwork. He could definitely be a dirty work player to play alongside AD, or he could come off the bench as a six-man. But the question is he going to be willing to take that mid-level exception? That is the only question. Otherwise, if he's out of reach, then he's not even an option. Brook Lopez is solid, legit 7-foot guy who can block shots. Problem with him is he's 35. So, Father Time's undefeated, and he's not athletic at all. This dude runs like a giraffe. Like, he's literally out there hovering. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's slow-footed as hell, man. Bigfoot-looking ass. But, as far as fit goes to, in the half-court rim protecting, he'd be great, especially if he comes on the cheap. Just a couple of free agents that come to mind. I'd love Stanley Johnson. I know people aren't really high on him because of his lack of offensive game, but dude cooked Rudy Gobert, one of the top defenders in the league. And he's got a lot of heart. He can switch multiple positions, guard 1 through 4. Very big, strong body. And, he's a winner, man. He just, since he played for Arizona, he's been a winner. So I've always been a fan of Stanley Johnson. So there's just a couple of free agents off the top, man. But I'm sure we're going to dive more into it as free agency approaches. Dan, do you think we need Mo Bamba? He is big and can stretch the floor and can shoot the three. Maybe we can add another big or two. What do you think? I'm not opposed to bringing him back. Mo Bamba is solid, but he's still a project. Believe it or not, he's about to be 25, and he still hasn't really. He doesn't have a post move that you can add to his name. To me, he was more of a need at the trade deadline because we were really lacking rim protection. But once we made our trades and got Vando, he kind of filled in a little bit there, even though he's not a rim protector, but a weak side help defender. Very good defender, man. Switching multiple positions, but especially out by the perimeter. But he kind of filled the role up until the Western Conference Finals. We could use another big, but Mo Bamba would be solid if you can't add anybody. At least keep him, maybe try to develop him a little further along. Or maybe he becomes the player we need. Maybe, right? But it's a huge question mark with him. Huge question mark. I'm not trading picks. That's how you feel, Sean? What if the Lakers move back, right? Let's just say the Lakers trade the 17th pick and a future second round pick for the Nets 20 and 21st picks. I think it's worth it now. You could end up, coming up with 2 steals, especially with the Lakers scouting department, rather than just one. But if the right player is there and it's a lottery level talent and he falls to the Lakers at 17, I say it's worth snatching him up and then maybe trying to buy another second round pick since we already have one. That's your best bet. But if y'all haven't checked out my draft videos, check them out, please. Please. Kuminga is a good look, but he wants to play via issues with the Warriors. There's a logjam with Kuminga and LeBron James. Kuminga, yeah, I heard the rumor that he might want out, right? They might trade him or whatever, but they're looking for a high pick, maybe the 17th. Let me ask y'all this: would y'all be willing to trade the 17th pick for Kuminga? Looking at this draft, I say depending on who's available. But if there's nobody we want there available at 17, they all got snatched up 1 through 16, then I say that's something you consider because Kuminga is still lottery level talent, super explosive, athletic, doesn't necessarily have a consistent jumper, so it needs to develop that. But there's a lot you can work with there with Kuminga, so it'd be something to consider. But I like this draft. I'll tell you that I like this draft, and I think the Lakers are going to find their guy at 17. I really do. People say no to Kuminga, but I'll tell you this: he's underdeveloped. Imagine what a coach like Phil Handy could do for him. He could end up developing into a 3-and-D wing. You never know. He's still young. He's still really young, really raw player, and a lot of teams give up extremely early on their picks. And I think that's what the Warriors would do, because if you can't shoot the 3 and be consistent from beyond the arc, look who their coach is, just a 3-point shooter, right? Steve Kerr. So if you can't do that, you're probably not going to last there. But remember, I think teams are undervaluing other, facets of players' games, like their defense, their athleticism, their hustle, their motor, all of that. And I think Kuminga is very solid. I think he's going to be a heck of a ball player in this league if he lands on the right team that develops him properly. That's how I feel about that. What about signing Dwight Howard or McGee for guarding the Joker? I love both of those dudes, and if they bring either one, I'd be happy with it. But I don't know how they look, man. At this stage of his career, how many minutes can JaVale McGee really play, right? He was already struggling at 15 throughout due to the asthma, and he's getting older, so who knows? As far as Dwight Howard goes, I mean, he's kept his body in shape. He's playing overseas, so he might be a better bet. But I'm sure the Lakers want to get younger, right? Look, we got tremendously younger this season, and we got further. So that's the key. I mean, the league is trending towards youth. You want to get younger, not older. You see our older guys struggled, right, with injuries, LeBron and AD. So you want to get more youth to help them, and hopefully they can earn the trust of these players. But if you get a veteran, I'm cool with it. I'm not. I'm not against it. I just don't expect too much from them. I don't expect Dwight Howard to come back as 2020 Dwight or JaVale McGee to come back as 2020 JaVale during the regular season where he was exceptional. I like Derek Lively at pick 17. Yes, he's my pick as well. Go check out my draft video. I have him there as well, bro. He's my number one most coveted player in this draft just because of his defensive prowess, the way he can switch and try to guard multiple positions off the pick and roll, and his fundamentals. I mean, he's not gonna do too much. He's not gonna score for you. You can't throw the ball in the post as of right now. Maybe he develops that later. But as of right now, you can't throw down the ball in the post and hope he gives you a bucket, right? What you can do, though, is you can count on him as a secondary help, weak side defender to contest or block shots. You can count on him to get rebounds. He's got a high motor, high basketball IQ on the defensive end. So that's what you're looking for. That's what you're drafting, a solid role player. Maybe he develops into like a prime DeAndre or Mitchell Robinson or that archetype, or maybe even better. We'll see. But he's definitely something the Lakers need. Another big man to go alongside AD. We don't know if Coach would utilize him in that way, though. That's my only concern. If we draft him and Coach just stashes him in the bench, I'm gonna be irate because that's missed opportunity. Or at least play the guy as a backup to AD. That way he can spell him some minutes. If you don't want to play him alongside him, that's fine. But at least as a backup, that'd be great. Potential AD trade packages. There's none. If there was any, you would have heard about them right now. So I think the Lakers are actually going to look to extend. I heard a rumor the Lakers are going to look to extend Anthony Davis next month, right? Not next month, I'm sorry, in August. So, yeah, I think there's a better bet that the Lakers extend him rather than trade him. Now, if it doesn't work out again 1 year, one more year, I think maybe you'll hear the crazy narrative. But I told you guys, depending on how far we got and how he played for the rest of the playoffs, and he dominated all the way, leading all the way up to the Western Conference Finals where he didn't. But the first two rounds he was dominant. The regular season when he played, he was dominant, especially defensively. So I think they're going to give him another year at least, man, before you start hearing any chatter. Now, if we don't win the championship next year, and if we come up extremely short and disappointment type of season, then you can hear that chatter really start to pick up there. But it's intriguing, right? It's just intriguing conversation for now. But he said Rui was very happy here. Y'all are crazy. Now we love Rui. We want to keep Rui. We want to re-sign Rui if we can. Same thing with Austin Reeves. Those are, I think, two of the primary targets this offseason for the Lakers to re-sign. They just got to fork out the cash. They do that, we're bringing them back. And then we can build upon that pillar, right, of youth and athleticism and high basketball IQ. Rui is just scratching the surface of what he can become as well. Because we're talking about somebody who can have a better back-to-the-basket game, but he's already decent. Mid-range, he's a killer there. Attacking the rim, he's a killer there. His three looked extremely good, especially in the postseason when it mattered the most. So that's very telling of what kind of career three-point shooter he can become, right? And I've always compared him to one Carmelo Anthony. Some people said Kawhi. But, of course, these are all lazy comparisons because there's only one of those type of players, and there's only going to be one of Rui. So if he can just pick up from here and there, I'd say hire Carmelo as an assistant coach to try to work with him on some of those post moves, that footwork that was impeccable by Carmelo on the offensive side. That would be good, I think, for Rui because he can be a go-to bucket getter for us, maybe even as soon as next season, right? But he's got to get paid for sure. Got to stay healthy. Those are all key components, right? Teams looking at AD as an older version of Zion Williamson, great potential, but not available unless baby mama. Wait, what? I don't think so. I don't think so because Zion has not accomplished anything in his career. Anthony Davis is a champion, so I think there needs to be more respect put on Anthony Davis' name. And anybody that looks at him like that, then no trade because I'd rather him retire here as a Laker and work through his issues here than to give him away for pennies to the dollar. That wouldn't be smart from Rob Pelinka's part, right? This dude is going to be a Hall of Famer. There's not a lot of Anthony Davis out there that grow on trees. I actually think he's a better player than Joker because he has a defensive down pat. Now, obviously, Joker's a way better offensive player, but if we factor in the fact that when AD has it going, he could be invincible, plus the defense, plus the rebounding and everything, I like AD better. I still like him better. Call me crazy, but yeah, I still like AD better than Joker. Joker does not amuse me. You know, this dude can't even jump over a magazine. Let alone catching bodies, posterizing people, blocking shots, and just being a total phenom. The only issue with AD has been his consistency on the offensive end, and then obviously staying healthy. But if he can get those two things together for one season, we win the championship. Guys, if AD would have dominated in the Western Conference Finals, there's no way you don't tell me we don't win the championship. He's always been the key. Greg said, you're all right, Dan. Rui is still on the upside and is looking good already. Keep Rui for sure. Yeah, keep her unless the right trade package comes along. If a trade package comes along and it's the right one, then maybe he can get included in there. But yeah, other than that, no. I'm talking star player type of trade package. That's how highly I think of Rui Hachimura. And I want this kid to keep developing. I love the youth. Mitchell Robinson would be a good target for us, yes. Jordan Hawkins, I love him. He's in my draft video as well, right? But I don't think guard is a need for us right now as we are constructed, right? Anything between wing all the way to center, I'm happy with. Whether it's a wing, a power forward, or a center, we win the draft. If we draft a shooting guard, he really has to live up to the hype and exceed that in order for me to say we won the draft. But I like Jordan Hawkins a lot. He could be a rich man's Buddy Hield, which means he could go off, get hot, shoot threes, play off the ball, come off of screens, do some Clay type things. And then he could also, I say rich man because this guy has the potential to be a very good defensive player in this league as well. He's got good mechanics on that end. What do you think a free agent that big and strong enough to keep Joker from backing them down in the paint? Honestly, I don't think you need a big and strong one. I just think you need people with size to pesky defenders to bother this man. I think Nas Reed would do a solid job. I think Brook Lopez adding a legit 7-footer to just bug him a little bit. Because look, right now the NBA is catering to finesse. You can't even breathe heavy on players before flagrants are called. So you got to be very careful the way you guard players, right? But if you get some legit 7-footers and some multiple bodies to throw at this man, you saw Rui did an excellent job. Rui was phenomenal. Unfortunately, the adjustment came late from the coach, but Rui was phenomenal. If he would have started this series, maybe we'd be singing a different tune. I'm not saying he's the Jokic stopper because Jokic is so good, only Jokic can stop Jokic, but you can definitely slow players down. And I think Rui did a great job of that. Terrell Carter says, I'm only trading Rui for Dame. Yeah, those type of trades. That's what I'm saying. That's how highly I think of Rui Hachimura. And it's not going to be straight up, obviously, for the trolls that are going to be the chat. Like, y'all are crazy. Rui would never go for Dame. No, we're talking about draft picks involved in everything, right? Multiple players. But yeah, I agree, Terrell. It has to be something. It has to be something that really moves the needle for us to move on from this young talent, because you either go hard or you go home, right? If you're going all in for a championship, you have to get championship caliber players, or you got to keep building with the young core to get to that championship level. We're not far from it. We hit the Western Conference this year on only, like you guys already mentioned, on half of a season of play with this new roster. So imagine what a full training camp, preseason, and regular season can do for us, right? Just imagine that. My guy said Bradley Beal is too injury prone and is too expensive. I agree, Jay. If the asking price is like that, I don't want no parts of it. I agree. Denver Nuggets, baby, what's up, bro? He said, Dtlf, much love and respect. I really hope you guys win the chip and get your revenge on us. Oh, don't say that, brother. Don't say that, man. You're good, bro. Don't worry about it. You don't got to say nice, super nice things like that. Enjoy your championship. Don't worry about us, brother. We worry about us. But, man, this guy's too kind. Nah, bro. Just enjoy your championship, man. You don't have to say you hope we get our revenge on you. You know what I'm saying? You're a good friend of this channel, and you deserve to enjoy, your guys' victory. So you don't got to, humble yourself all the way down to that level. Addison said, the fact that you have to say if AD did this and if AD did this, bruh, AD ain't it no more. You know what, Addison? You could be right, but I'm not willing to bet against him and just give it, like, what would you, let me ask y'all this. Y'all always talking about trading AD. What's the package that gets you to relinquish that type of talent and get better, right? Because if you're going to trade AD, you need to replenish the rim protection he brings. You need to replenish the rebounding he brings. Heck, you need to replenish and give yourself, somebody who gives you buckets when you need them as well. That's a lot to replace. What team is going to be willing to trade a player of that magnitude for Anthony Davis, right? Think about it. Think about it. How old LeBron is? Is he 28? We need to win now and rebuild later. LeBron is 38. And that's what we're trying to do, Jet. And I think as a LeBron fan, you guys need to understand that the Lakers are doing everything, absolutely everything, in order to get LeBron James and Anthony Davis the help. If the trade deadline didn't prove that to you, then nothing will. We are the greatest franchise in the world. Nobody operates like the Lakers do. We're always trying to hunt for championships. This is why we're the winningest franchise, right? We literally win a championship every generation. No other team can say that. The Celtics haven't won a championship before the 2008, fluke championship they got off of us. The Celtics hadn't won a championship since the damn 60s, 70s. You know what I'm saying? So they was winning most of their championships in the black and white TV era. You know what I mean? We're the only team that always builds consistently towards that goal, right? So I'll tell you this, bro. You don't need to worry about what Rob Pelinka and Genie are going to do. They're going to put us in the best position to succeed for the now and for the future, right? That's it. That's all you got to worry about. To all you LeBron fans that are coming on the channel, don't understand what it means to be a Laker fan, we've seen it all, fam. So you cannot educate us on what is better for this team because we've seen it all from Exhibit A to Exhibit B, C, D. We've seen it all, right? Now, Anthony Davis, there's only one way I trade Anthony Davis, and that is if his heart is no longer in Los Angeles, he doesn't want to be here. If he tells us, I want to go to Chicago or something, okay, trade him. But other than that, I want to keep the guy because he showed us already that he still has what it takes, all right? We already won one in 2020. And this year we went extremely far with an injured version of him, by the way. He was injured. He's playing with a bone spur. People don't know what that is. You never hooped in your life. It's very painful, fam. Bone spurs are very, very painful. You don't hooping through that is tough. So he might actually require some surgery. Jet said, is the Darvin Ham effect. He expects AD to pick up rebounds, shoot threes, protect the paint. Darvin Ham, he got us thinking AD's a fraud and a scam and scammed us all. Could be. Could be. The coach got to get better for sure. And we need another big man alongside AD. All right. I would love it if we had two big men in the paint instead of just one. Right? Because one of you're asking to wear him out and to injure him. And I said it since preseason of last season. Right? We should get another big. I wanted Thomas Bryant to start there. Unfortunately, his defense wasn't on par. But still, when Thomas was starting, he was putting up monster numbers. Coach didn't see what we saw. Even AD was hoping to start alongside TB. And then when he got traded, obviously we got Mo Bamba, we got all these pieces. He didn't utilize them now, partially due to injury. But Tristan Thompson was sitting over there with all that championship experience, all that playoff experience, and nothing to the final game. And he actually was impactful. So that should show coach that you messed up, and you got to come back with a different mindset next year. If the finals showed us anything at all, as a Laker fan and as a Lakers front office and coaching staff, is that you're gonna have to utilize size to be a champion. Every time. We talked about this already in 2020. We'll talk about it again till it happens. And when it happens, we're going to say, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Because finally, they're listening, right? But anyways, guys, it's going to wrap it up for me, man. Just another video bringing you guys the quick rumors and updates. Listen, if another juicy rumor or news out, anything breaks, y'all know where to find me. If I have to make 3, 4, 5 videos a day, I'm dedicated, fam. So keep it locked right here for all things Lakers and more. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks so much for tapping in. Make sure to hit that like button on your way out. It helps the channel. Major shout out to my sponsorship, Real Quick Prize Picks. I think they were giving out free entries yesterday. So definitely check them out. Promo code DTLF. Get to play with some free money, man, and make some big money. So definitely check that out. And I'll see you guys here. If anything breaks, you guys know where to find me, all right? Peace.